I think we're live.
Yeah.
Let me see if it's popping up. I think there's a little bit of delay on this one, not like the. Sorry, guys. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. What's up, Charlie? How you doing, buddy?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, guys. We had some technical issues with Zoom, so we are using another service. Still broadcasting live to our Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn. Glad you guys can see us. Hope everybody's having a wonderful week. It's Aloha Thursday. Seems like it's been a while, Charlie. I don't know why, but it does. Hey, my cousin Rick. My cousin Rick. I haven't seen Rick in a long time. Welcome, everybody. Aloha, and thanks for joining us tonight. As you can see, it's Charlie and I tonight, and we're going to try and talk story for the next hour, man. I can see what's good. A lot of stuff going on, man. Lot of stuff as usual. I even honestly don't even know where to start, man. Oh, my auntie Nana. Auntie Nana is on. You know Edwina, Charlie? My mom's sister is on. Aloha. Thank you guys for joining us all the way from Oahu. How you been, Charles? How you been, man?
Just tired. Tired. Like any startup operation, it's demands a lot. And thing about it is, today, I guess there's just so much things happening, and it's there's a lot of defaults in whatever you do with a startup operation. And so one couple nights ago, individual had private message and said that. Some people had gotten through without being screened, and that's plausible. And yes, in fact it did happen. And there's so much blame to go around, but we're at a point that those at all the airports across the state, especially those that's doing the screening, they can only do with what they have. I mean, they're taking their directions from the state, right? State is the one that puts them at the airport. The state is the one that tells them what they got to do. But when anything goes south, there's always other entities that have to get involved to take over, right? Because you have screeners, correct? If they run into problems, somebody hasn't gotten their vaccine card uploaded or something of that nature, then basically what you have a quarantine violation, right? So then they rely on the police department. Well, this whole matter is really a Department of Health type. It's a Department of Health issue, and of course the state. And they just need to tighten because there's only so much you can do, right? Because there's no more police departments at the airport. There's no more national guards at the airport. There's just a lot of civilians, and so everybody gets overworked, and it becomes tiring. I have to say though, nobody's giving up. But sometimes the battle seems futile, if you want to call it that, because it just keeps on going in this vicious circle, continually goes around and around and around. And it's okay if there's the light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be doom and gloom, but I'm just giving facts. It'll be okay if there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but there is no light at the end of the tunnel. Why? Everything comes from our leaders. And someone corrected me or tried to correct me by saying, you got to give them a chance. Do that. You know what? I said to that person, first of all, everybody that runs for office knows exactly what's going on. Okay? Whether you savvy enough to run for office or not, you know that at any given time, the people can turn against you because we're trying to understand the thinking of our elected officials, and I'm talking about the upper administration, of why is it so hard to recognize we have a definite problem on our hands? And you can't monitor this thing until it dies out. Because I'm gonna tell you one thing. What make viruses go around is the fuel. What is the fuel? The fuel is people who keep on coming in who are either not vaccinated, who don't believe in vaccines, who don't believe in wearing a mask, and who really don't care if they are infected, and they don't care if they infect the person next to them. Because why? When their time is up here in Hawaii, they go bye bye and they leave all the Opala behind, right? So
Mhm.
then you have people that get sick over here. They'll never see them again. These people go back to the main. They'll never. It's anybody. I don't want somebody to say, hey, there you go again. Well, I'm just telling you the truth. That's what happens. The sooner you realize that, because if if we're gonna keep on going around in circles, I don't know about you, whoever you are out there, but I'm gonna tell you something right now. Me, I don't like going in circles already. Either we do something right now, or forget it and just say the hell with it. And you know what? Because at one point you gonna keep on, like they say, the old saying, you keep on slapping heads. One day your head gonna get slapped really hard too. So what I'm saying is, you keep on mistreating our frontline workers. You think that you can play games until such a point that you're gonna get sick, and you expect somebody to take care of you. Guess what? What if they're not there to take care of you? You're on your own. You're gonna be on your own.
Yeah. Well, I wanna with this. Can you guys see
Mhm.
that Nikki is my daughter? She's actually watching tonight from Oregon.
Hey,
Hello.
Nikki.
Yeah.
Hello,
Yeah.
Nikki.
Yeah. I'm so happy that she's
For
feeling
you,
better.
I'm gonna have a mochi crunch, Nikki. There goes Uncle Charlie again.
You know, and she will. I know we talked about bringing her on last week, and she just was not strong enough. Today she's getting better, and I just want to say, Nikki, I love you, and thanks for jumping on the show. We will make some time, maybe tomorrow night, maybe Saturday. I might do another impromptu with Nikki just so she can share a message. Her message is very important, I think, for a lot of people that are out there, young ones especially, maybe your kids or grandkids that are concerned about um, taking the vaccine, and so I'm hoping that Nikki's message will be able to at least give them a perspective from someone that caught it and got sick, and how that can change your attitude about getting the vaccine. So anyway,
Yeah,
Nikki, thank you.
I wanna say something too, Mel, if I may. I hope and pray that my message doesn't go across negatively to those out there, because I got some friends from the mainland who come every year. They used to come and watch us play music. And I got a text early today, and they know how much that we love them and how much they love us. And I'm gonna tell you, these people, they come over, they spend between 1 to 2 weeks with us. They've already got tested. They came over, vaccinated, they came over, test. These are friends of ours who are actually visitors that live in the Midwest. They actually came over, and after the fourth day, they went and got tested, and now they just had another test again today, and they're negative both times. Now that is responsible. How many of the visitors can actually say they do that for us? They come in on our home turf, and they're doing that to us to protect us. How many can say that? I can tell you right now, not too many. Not too many. So I just wanted to thank my friends all the way from the Midwest. Thank you very, very much for thinking of us.
Yeah. there are those that are responsible, and then there are those that are not. And I think, Charlie, you were talking earlier about the state got to basically fish or cut bait. I mean, that's kind of, we're at that point now, and we and I say this all the time. Every morning I wake up, I hope to get that message from our state. I hope that we get that plan of where we're going to go. And today was just like every other day. Again, no word. Now we hear Big Island Mayor Roth is or asking the governor for permission to close parks and beaches, as well as reinstate the
What a
pre-flight
dope it is.
tests, the pre-flight test, and we know that the pre-flight test will do some, but it's not enough. I mean, we've been talking about this, Charlie. I think the frustration for you and I, anyway, and many of our viewers, we've been saying this for months now. What needs to be done for months? We've been talking about reinstating the two tests, pre and post. We've talked with experts on our show about the different variations. It could be a daily rapid test. It could be a quarantine with 4 days. It could be done without quarantine, but you got the testing was vital post arrival. We've talked about it all. We hear our guests that come on our show. We see them on the news. Dr. Miskovich, Dr. O'Carroll, all of these people are Dr. Altenberg. It's explaining, begging, pleading with the state to implement some of these safety precautions. No, crickets, right? Crickets, crickets, crickets. We just saw in the newspaper, the Honolulu, they have not stopped any large events, concerts, 2,000 people, luau's on a nightly basis, right? The only actual restriction that we have right now is you cannot have a gathering at your house or your backyard. That's really the only restriction right now. Mega concerts, mega gatherings going on right now on Oahu and on Kauai, on all the islands. And then today, Charlie, we have a message from the governor. Everybody got excited when the governor took to the podium to tell everybody to be safe during this long weekend. Well, first of all, not everybody has a long weekend. Most of our people work because the statehood day is not a national holiday. But anyway, so he took the time to come on the podium to tell everybody to behave and stay safe. Try not to try not to gather. Dr. Char saying, no, try not to gather. And on the same day, the very same day, we have a press conference or a news segment from the Honolulu Fire Department showing their three brand new mobile morgues, three containers that have been outfitted for dead bodies in anticipation of what can happen. Now, let's break that up, Charlie. Let's break that up, right? So you are the governor, right? And the people have been begging and crying. And I did a impromptu last night because when I saw the nurses on the news, when I heard from about the teachers on the news, personal friend of mine working at the jail, all of these people that are in the midst of COVID, begging for the state to do something, and you don't hear a thing, right? And then today you hear the message, hey guys, enjoy your long weekend. And by the way, Honolulu Fire Department is ready. We are ready because we have three new mobile morgues. I gotta tell you, man, definitely they are they have chosen the wrong path. They have chosen total reaction rather than proaction. It's upsetting. Somebody posted that we look tired, Charlie. Well, yeah, because we are tired, and many of you are tired. If you think we're tired, how do you think those nurses feel? And the
Yep.
medical workers, how do you think they feel? Those jail guys that are working extra shifts because of the shortfalls. And so, this tired that I have, you know what? Tonight I can go sleep. Tomorrow I can relax. But those nurses cannot relax. Those doctors cannot relax. The respiratory therapists, all of those people that keep us safe and alive in the hospitals, they don't have that luxury. So for me, Charlie, the frustration is, what is it going to take? And let's try to answer this question, Charlie. What is it going to take? Is it what, 1,000 cases every day for 5 days in a row. Did someone write a little parameter list that says, oh, we got to hit, maybe when we hit 10 deaths a day, we're going to implement some change. That's what I'm livid about. You don't hear nothing from anybody. Um, and I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man. And I don't know what to tell our viewers.
Well, there's nothing. We've tried everything, and it's gotten to the point because we've been doing this. Well, you've been doing it longer because last night I didn't come on. I was just literally exhausted. But we've we've basically have fought you know we've fought this battle, and it's gotten to the point. It almost seems as if we're trying to shove a square peg in a round hole, and we're wondering why it's getting stuck somewhere. It's just like these. I know you get upset, and I always tell you, my brother, only only we gonna get the ulcers because right now they're laughing. They laugh because they're in a position, right? They're in a position either to they can do something or not do anything at all, and they've elected not to do anything at all. So they stay watching. I'm pretty sure there are people they go like, oh look at the guy Charlie. He look tired because one day whoever they are, they're gonna grow old, right? They're gonna get sick, and if you know, and heaven forbid anything bad happens to them, but if it does, that's just karma. That's just karma coming back to bite you in all calling. That's all it is. We are trying to, we are pleading with whoever will listen to us, right? And that's why, when I see politicians walking around flexing, they forget to people like us to stand and hold signs to get them elected, right? Then when we really need some help, everybody for some reason get plenty wax build up in their ear so they're not gonna hear nothing. That's the kind of stuff that pisses me off.
Yeah.
That's the kind, that's why I I I try not to blow a gasket because when my mouth get peeled out, pow. And people know me as being the the one who will keep on level head. But I'm gonna be honest. I have gone out with a deep end, and it's not a pretty sight, and I'm not proud of it. And that's why I just try to keep a cool, level head about this whole thing. But I know how you feel. It gets so annoying that legitimately the people of Hawaii has a gripe, and yet these politicians at the top, right? They make that big promise. If elected, I will be your voice. Okay, where the hell are you now? You elected. Where the hell are you now? Yeah, that's a bunch of bull, as far as I'm concerned. So,
Ladies and gentlemen, that little laugh, that last laugh you heard from Charlie. That's not a fun laugh. That means he's getting close to the point where. Uh, so we just got to keep him pumped up for a little while so we can hear him explode. I like see him blowing gasket on the show. No, Charlie, we we come from a industry or a background where most of the things we did as police officers, most of the calls were there was a victim, whether it was a car accident, really no suspect, or we went to cases where there was a good guy and a bad guy. And as a police officer, we had the ability to help somebody immediately. We had the ability, if it was an accident, we would do what we had to do until the medics got there. If it was a domestic, we had the ability to put the victim in a vehicle, or wait for medics and arrest the bad guy and put him in the backseat of some police officer's car. You had the ability to at least provide some immediate response to the situation. That's what we did, Charlie. For a long time, we did that. And I'm not saying that to for you guys to all say, yeah, 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 we love you guys. No, the reason I say that is because we're in a situation now, Charlie, where we don't have that ability because no one is listening, and it's not Mel and Charlie saying what needs to be done, right? It's the experts that have come on the show. It's the experts that are readily available to anybody that wants to learn. So when I watch the news and I hear people begging and pleading, Charlie, it's like going to a scene of an assault, and the victim is begging you to, please, please, that's the guy, do something, do something. You have that ability to immediately take action and arrest the person, put them in a back seat. In this case, Charlie, we have the bad guy. The bad guy is COVID. The bad guy is the virus. That's the bad guy. And we have the victims, which is all the people that are concerned. You don't have to have had the virus to be a victim because our lives have changed tremendously. So everybody is a victim of this virus. Some of us, Charlie, which again, with your brother, was the first in our village to get a taste of the virus at a very personal, intimate level when you lost your brother to COVID. And we sit here every day. Yeah, we've missed a few nights, but every single day, if we don't have a show, we're talking to somebody, we're messaging, emailing somebody, and we don't have that ability to provide immediate assistance to any of our victims, our village people, anybody, because we don't have it. So the frustration builds. So when I see on the news this plea from people in the community that are working their okoles off to save our villagers, and no one is listening, and the people that should be listening have the ability to fix this or to provide some immediate response, and they're not doing it. And you think about it, last week Thursday, right, Charlie, there was the Senate COVID committee meeting on Thursday, right? The General Hara said Friday there was going to be an announcement that the safe travels program was going to be reinstated, most likely the pre-travel testing. Well, Friday came and went. Friday, governor said he was meeting with the mayors. Well, they ran out of time. Took Saturday, Sunday off because that's what you do in a crisis, in a disaster. Yeah, you take Saturday, Sunday off, and then you reconvene on Monday, and Tuesday, and Wednesday, and today is Thursday, and we have heard zero. We have heard zero from anybody. And you bring up a good point about our elected officials. I said last night that maybe it's time the legislature who has the oversight of the administrative function in our state government, maybe the state legislature needs to get involved. Not maybe, they should. And they need to start asking the questions that the public is asking and not getting answers. So you hit it right on the head, Charlie. These people that come out all every year from every island asking for your support and telling you what they're going to do. Yeah, where are they, man? They need to step up. They need to step up right now. And listen, guys, if you guys are legislators, watch this, or hey, don't ever take it personal. I'm just saying there's some tools in the toolbox that we're not using. And part of the tools in our toolbox is our legislature, is our county councils to get together and start creating the voice, at least sending our voices to the administration. But no matter where you turn, Charlie, it's like a cricket farm. It's like a
No,
cricket farm.
is it too much? Is it too much to ask? Let me ask you this, Mel. Next election, is it too much to ask a potential candidate if they can answer several questions on live TV, hooked up to a polygraph machine? Is it too much to ask?
Uh,
Because we could be saving everybody's time in five simple questions. We can determine if you bull crap or you gonna tell the truth. What's wrong with that? Because if the five questions reveal, right? The five questions reveal you and liar. Why even waste time holding signs for you?
I tell you, I hope anyway that our voters in the next election remember what we went through. I really do,
Yeah,
but I think the polygraph idea is a wonderful one. You'd narrow the field. I can promise you, would narrow the field. You'd probably have only a few people running. Probably not enough to complete the election.
yeah.
So, but you're right, man. And that this is Charlie. I don't know, and this is not because we were cops. Because I mean, right now we get 243 people live on here. There's there'll be thousands more that watch this, and I think I speak for probably 98% of the people watching, maybe 99, maybe even 100. That we just want answers. Now is the time we are begging our leaders to help us, to speak for us, or at least to tell us what's going on, and it's not happening. So I see it, you see it, everybody sees it, except those politicians, except the people that should be, you know, s- the silence needs to stop. The crickets need to be put away because we as people that live in this state, and I'm talking about every place, every island, every town, we need to hear. We need to be. We need to feel some sort of relief. We need to feel comfortable with what the state is doing. But how do you feel comfortable, Charlie, when no one's saying anything? No one's saying anything.
I sorry, I laugh.
No, I don't know.
I
I
get,
trying to make
I,
sure I don't have something on my nose.
no, I'm listening to you, and you're right. The reason I'm laughing, I get this whack mind of mine saying, "Hey, you know how you get coffee hour? You invite the candidate in, right? Without them knowing, we go set up one bullshit meter. We put them around the door. As soon as they walk in, hello everybody, mahalo. And one time they go, bam, lie, lie, lie. Right then, everybody go, hey, give me that piece cake you was gonna give me anyway for listening to that. I'm gonna take them home. I don't like listening to this. The reason why I'm laughing. It's like, oh
Yeah,
my
that's Charlie. The mind is just, it doesn't stop. Charlie's mind does not stop. I miss you, man. I miss you. Last night, Charlie. Last night I was watching. Because Patsy's on the in Oregon with Nikki, and I, there was nothing on TV, so I put on OC16. You can watch the old football games, and so I was watching Hilo and Iolani, 2019 championship. Hilo beats Iolani, which was amazing. It was a great game, and then had Kahuku in St. Louis,
yeah.
and I was leaning back, Charlie. I was just leaning back on the couch, feeling really good, man. I was like, this is the bachelor life. I had my Patsy made all my food for eat, and I'm watching, and then I look at the time. Oh man, 10 o'clock. I made the fatal mistake of watching the news. I should have not watched the news. I should have continued to watch football because that's my passion. and I watched the news. I remember looking at the clock right under the TV, and I saw it was, I think it was like 10:14. I didn't even make them through the news. I was thinking, I should call Charlie. I should call Charlie because now in the Oregon it's 3 hours ahead. Everybody's sleeping. There's no one for me to talk to.
Brother, if
I
you would
said,
have called me, if you would have called me, you would have got this. The number you have reached is no longer in service. Please try the number. Try again.
so I, man, I was boiling, and but the intent of the segment was only to tell people, please think about our frontline workers. Please think about and pray for our nurses, doctors, all the assistants, custodians at the schools. And I did want to talk about the schools, Charlie, in a little bit, but that was the whole purpose. But as I started talking, like you, my head started going, and I'm like, what the hell are we doing?
You know what
These
gets me
people.
really upset? What gets me really upset? They show one of these politicians going around the hospitals, right? Facilities, talking, and get all the frontline workers like, can see their face because they come up in mask. But you can just read the eyes, and they look at him like, yeah, you lying sucker.
Yeah. You remember when you was at a remember when you was at a major crime scene, Charlie, and a major one, and all of a sudden, all the people came out of the ivory towers. Yeah,
Yeah.
what? I mean, did you feel like you was happy that you were there? The hell no.
No, even at the crime scene, so you step back, right, and you let all these Johnny come latelys come to the front, and they don't can figure out nothing, and you go over there and you telling yourself in the head, "Shut up."
I can only imagine what those people were thinking. And then the cameras following them around. The cameras, like, get the hell out of here. What the hell? If you had to come to find out what was going on, brother, you are in another orbit, man. I mean, come on. Come on. I
Tonight,
told him on the show.
I
I
was
told him,
watching I was watching the news, and I seen certain spots. First thing I do, I turn to my wife. I go, "Ooh, I hope Mel not watching this. Gonna be on rough night if we gonna start any Saudis."
I think a lot of it, because we see it so much that it kind of just flows off. But when I see the new stuff, yeah, man, it just I got those same buttons you do, Charlie. And when somebody pushed a button, I said last night, hey, go walk in the prisons. Go walk in the prisons where it's confined and get COVID all over. Go walk in there with your camera crew. Put that on your video commercial when you're running. But, I mean, I listen, you don't have to go into a hospital to know. People laughing, Charlie. Tammy
Yeah.
says, never laughed this hard in a while. Yeah, we should just do a damn comedy hour. My friend in California said, you out of control. My good brother Ed Phillips said, you out of control, Charlie.
Yes, I'm
He didn't
sorry.
even he didn't
No,
even know you.
and the reason why I'm laughing too, sometimes you get incidents, right? One of the incidents that I know it takes place. When these Lolos come on the airplane and they don't like wear their mask, you just don't like listen to the flight crew, right? I tell myself, why are these guys throwing blows in the plane for? Let that Lolo know wear a mask, because why? The moment they land, there's this thing about uh, not complying with the flight crew's orders, right? Okay, so you may not get arrested. You may get away scot free, but guess what? You may have your name put on a list, a no-fly list. So now you get that kind of you get these specials at Macy's on Oahu. You still on that no-fly list. While your girlfriend's jumping on a plane, you stay in the lobby, stuck over there and wondering, why can't I go on the plane? Yeah, you shouldn't have act up the first time.
Yeah, no, that's true. Put them on a no fly.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
and then if they're on Kauai, you give them a free helicopter ride to Kalalau,
Yep.
and you say, this is your kid, brother. You can stay here and you don't have to wear your mask. You don't have to wear your mask because,
Oh boy.
you know, yeah, the bears that live up in Kalalau, they don't wear masks either. You fit right at home,
In fact,
jackass.
no, they in fact who was that? Humane Society went up Kalalau the other week. They spotted it looked like a grizzly bear. So they called me because I live at the bottom in Waimea, and I saw the picture and I said, that's not a grizzly bear. That kind of looks like my neighbor.
Here we go. We haven't heard that laugh in a long time, Charlie. We have not heard that laugh in a long, long time.
I'm sorry, folks. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you folks out there. No, it all started with the bullshit machine. Yeah.
Yeah,
Next
yeah.
election, let's rig that puppy up and let's give them the bullshit test.
Oh my goodness. We should market that. I think, imagine if we could get that in all the cities around the country. We would sell out. We would sell out. And the problem is, we wouldn't have politicians to run for office. I mean, every time they walk through, bam, next, bam, next. What you
No,
gonna
it's
do?
not that, brother. You put them on the machine. And you tell them, okay, if you tell a lie, is they going to register? You ask them the first question and watch how they respond. They go, uh, um, uh, uh. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize, man. There
You
we
mean,
go.
what's wrong? You tongue tied. Oh, you lie for a living. Oh, no wonder you can't answer us.
Sh-
Boy.
oh boy. Yeah, I sorry if you guys came on for watch Charlie and I get angry. We sorry to disappoint, but I think the laughter is wonderful.
Yeah.
Mel, was Patsy afraid to fly? Yes, Patsy was afraid to fly, and again, I just want to say that if was for any other reason, Patsy would not fly. It was Patsy. Patsy said, "I'm going," and so yeah, we made sure she had all the proper attire. I have a picture that I'm not going to put up tonight, but I will post. It's her with her suit that she has to wear in the house. She went into an area with a COVID patient,
Mhm.
and so I still wear. She'll get tested on Saturday, but a mother's love, like a dad's love. I mean, I think I love my daughter just as much as my wife, but that bond was not going to be broken by COVID or anybody else. And she said, I'm going," and again, we made sure she had the PPE, and I am convinced today that if not for that mother's love that Patsy had provided, because Monday night when Patsy got to the room, to the apartment, Nikki was already sleeping. Tuesday
Good.
morning, Tuesday morning, Patsy made up her famous Japanese rice soup. That was the first time Nikki had eaten anything in probably 9 days or so, 8 days, 9 days. And then the lunch followed, and then the dinner followed, and it was that the fact that that Patsy got there, the presence wasn't the soup, because you know Amazon or whatever
His
Hub
mommy thought
Grubhub
really.
could have dropped off that soup, and it wouldn't have made a damn difference. The fact that she knew mommy was there, mommy
That
was her protector, her savior. She got back to good health, and so yes, was she afraid to fly? Absolutely. If they told her that, hey, the only flight available was a flight with 18 or 20 COVID positive people, she would have been on that flight. I promise you. That's just that was there was no way it was going to stop her from being there. So yeah, mom and Nikki needed mom more than she needed dad at that moment. And I'm man enough to admit that. But yeah, I will be going up. Um,
no,
in at some point to hang out with my daughter and my son and my wife, and then bring Patsy back. So, uh, and I really cannot wait to do that. Now I will be a wreck on that plane because, as you know, I'm scared shitless of this virus,
no.
and I'm scared shitless because of all these people that we allow. Uh,
My understanding is this virus in the airplane. I just saw the recent report. I didn't know the virus gets airsick itself. So the little virus with the spikes. Once the plane take off, under the microscope they saw the little virus going like this. Bleh, bleh. That's why no need worry, bro.
well, the reason I worry, Charlie, is because if you listen to our governor, if you listen to our lieutenant governor, if you listen to our state director of health, this virus no latch on to visitors, only local residents.
How they know that?
Cause
How
that's
they,
what they're saying. That's what they say. Right.
no,
The visitors, no, they're not there. No, it's only the local travelers getting this virus, not the visitors. So I would be considered a local traveler. So the virus would find me in that airplane of 200 people. And he know the virus say, oh, no, visitor, visitor, visitor. No, we got to show him the aloha spirit. So we're not going to. Oh, here we go. Local brother, right there. smart freaking virus. Man, I tell you. So so I gotta go up there. I gotta stay there at least 4 days so I can take a test to make sure I don't have COVID from the freaking airplane. And then I gotta come back home, and then I gotta hang out at home with Patsy for another 4 days or 5 days to take another test so we can go back and go work. Because, like you
Brother,
said, because be responsible.
I can only picture you. As soon as the plane take off, you go like this. You
Charlie, can you imagine? Can you imagine if the guy sitting next to me cough or, or sneeze? Can you imagine? I'm gonna be like this, man.
That's again, you turn to bro, I go, hey bro, you ever heard of the Tom? The Tom, you ever heard of the term false crack medevac? Try cough again.
Yes, I mean, it's just gonna be. It's just gonna happen. It's gonna happen,
That's the best.
man.
That's the best.
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. What the heck? But anyway,
That's why when you buy your ticket, and they ask you, okay, you want coughing or non-coughing section? You tell them you want the non-coughing section. Whew.
no,
Hey, I'm sorry, folks. If any of you get sore stomach out there from laughing, me too. So thank you. Whew,
no.
tonight,
I'm
we
gonna
needed to laugh. We needed to laugh tonight.
no tell Patsy, but I'm gonna sell her car and I'm gonna buy up maybe five of the or six of the first class tickets,
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna sit up first class all by myself
Mhm.
and worry about telling Patsy when we come home and she said, "What a car? What car? My car? I don't know. I don't know."
The
But I
aircraft music.
but we flew first class. We good. We're good.
But
Yeah, yeah.
on a
It's just
serious
to me.
note,
I still think when you're in an airplane, I still think there's a risk.
yeah. But on a serious note, I'm sorry, I just cannot be serious, so I got no serious notes.
I did want to talk about the schools, Charlie. You saw that thing on the news. One school shut down, 42 cases. Uh,
This is what I've always said before. We got this straight from the experts. Okay, don't take it from Charlie Iona, the Giggle master himself. But I'm gonna tell you right now, they've always said this is an airborne virus, right? So I don't care if you sit 3 feet, 6 feet, put on screen, unless you in an individual bubble, you will never stop that virus from moving around. And the only way you can do them is have the kids wearing masks throughout the entire day. That's the only way. But again, there's this negotiations going on what makes it. You know what? If you guys are so damn worried, I'm pretty sure the kids would enjoy themselves outside, right? I'm sure they would enjoy themselves outside. Put them outside. Put them under the tent. They would enjoy a break or new scenery, right? You don't have to be in a room. I mean, I remember growing up when I was in school, every time you go in a room, you see the same damn chalkboard. You know, I was pissed off at the chalkboard because I must have been the only kid that must have wrote like about 9,000 times. I will not do that again. I will not do. You know how they discipline you, and for some reason,
oh,
my friends they get disciplined. They only got to write them 40 times. How come me 100 times? But as I got older, I figured out why. Because I was the most rotten kid. So when you rotten, you're gonna be writing in high numbers. And it's because of that I became real good at forging my parents' signatures because I write so much. Yeah.
and you get really good handwriting.
Thank you.
You get really good handwriting, man. And that's thank you. That's why sometimes it's okay to be a little kolohe in school. I wrote on my chalkboard too, and
No, it's okay.
but
I know what you're
my
gonna say,
my
but it's not Kolohe. We've got to be politically correct for all races. I was a little bit off. There you go.
was
Might still be.
was
Might
yeah,
still.
yeah, okay. Somebody is posting FYI. Sorry. Okay, this one ready. I'm gonna share this one here just because
Okay.
anti-vax protests will be at the Choir Council building from 7:30 to 2 tomorrow. Just reporting it, not promoting it. I know Samuel is not promoting it.
Yeah. Okay.
But again, this is what we're dealing with. This is what we're battling with, guys. We're battling with again. Charlie and I has always till today have said that we respect and love those that choose not to get vaccinated.
Brother, if there was a way, right? You know, facial recognition, right? You set up at these protests, you recognize everyone, put them into the system, right? You download them at the hospitals. Then when these knuckleheads go in because they're sick, they run facial recognition and then they go, the thing detect one of them.
Yeah, that's the scare. I mean, like I don't think it's right for people to push others to get vaccine. I think encourage. I think that's cool. But when you go out and you do an anti-vaccine campaign, everyone knows that that's probably the only tool we have right now. That and even that right now will take a while for it to cause any effect or impact on the current surge. But when they go out and protest on the front lawn and um, we got a lot of people out there that are on the fence, and everything was based on science, I think. And there's people that have a valid concern about not getting the vaccine, and like I said last night, now is the time. Vaccine people that support vaccines and people that don't need to come together, and we
Mm.
shouldn't be pitting one against the other. We
Yeah.
shouldn't be going out there and saying one is bad and one is good. No, it's everyone has a choice. But if you are promoting or not wanting to get vaccinated, then at least respect the science and wear a mask. Keep your distance. Do not go around anybody. Stay away from gatherings. But for those of you that actually think this is fake and this is a hoax, Charlie, I agree 100%. Put their pictures. You know what? You go in the tent. When you get COVID, you go in the tent. You go in the waiting area because we're going to treat the ones that need the treatment right away, and that cannot be done, right? So it's frustrating, and this causes more community anger when this happens. We got to respect everybody. We got to respect everybody, and hopefully people will make the right decision.
Tonight we started off by trying to find a way. And of course, I got sidetracked because, you know, the loopy side of Nestle meat started to come out. But we started off trying to find ways to make people listen. And the answer is this: there are going to be those that are going to listen, there are going to be those that don't listen. And it's just like the administration. They're going to be responsible administrators. Okay, they're going to be individuals who are responsible to know that they have an obligation to the people that voted them into office, and they need to respond one way or the other. I tell you what, okay, I would even be receptive if Dr. Charles said, Charlie, I want to come to Kauai and I want to have a one-on-one or with you and Mel and sit down and let us explain why we are taking this path. I would even invite that because you know why? That is way more than what we got now. Okay, it's way more than what we got now. But you see, nobody even coming up knocking on that option, you know? And because and I think, I think our friend is upset because that night that we talked about the two step testing process, he got upset, made the comment, well, you the poster child. You got sick, you got your security personnel sick. You found out on your second test. So why are you promoting not taking two tests? You took two tests and that's how you found out. Now, I wasn't trying to call you a liar. I was just trying to say if it works, let's use it, right? It's like an airplane. If putting one extra fin on the outer wing stabilize the airplane, then do it. It makes it more of a comfortable flight instead of a turbulent flight. But I just don't get it with these guys. I just don't get it.
There was a story in the advertising. They were talking about. They were interviewed a family of four. Family of four came from the mainland.
Right.
They were. You saw that, right? The kids
Mhm.
obviously couldn't be vaccinated, so they had to take a test. If not for taking the test, they would never have known that that family was positive. The two parents were positive. We know what needs to be done, Charlie. And now you talked about Dr. Libby Char sitting down with us and telling us. I said last night. I said this. I said it more eloquently last night. I like. I don't like criticize you, but I said it much more eloquently.
Oh,
So yeah, I did, man. I was proud of myself because it's like my education stepped in. Like it stepped in. So if you could cover your kids' ears,
hmm,
I'll repeat what I said last night. I said they just need to tell us what they're gonna do, and if they're not gonna do shit, they just need to tell us that they're not gonna do shit. At least that way we can we know where to hit it. Sorry, but
well,
that's
someone
kind of
said,
tell us what you are going to do or not going to do. They're keeping us in the dark, and that is what's causing people like us and all of us people in our village to speculate and start thinking about what they could be thinking about doing. Listen, this isn't rocket science. We know, Charlie. Everyone knows that second test is
yeah,
critical. Everyone knows,
hmm,
but we also know that the connection to the airline industry and the visitor industry is so tight with our administration. It's so obvious. They're hoping that the numbers will go down. See what they don't want to do, Charlie. They don't want to interrupt the Labor Day weekend traffic. You don't they don't want to interrupt the profit earnings of the airlines because Labor Day weekend is a weekend a lot of people travel. And so they wait till next week. You know what's going to happen when they're going to any implementation of a restriction that they're going to come up with, if they come up with, won't be in effect until after Labor Day. Mark my word, you heard it here tonight. And that's dangerous because a lot of people are going to die. A lot of people are going to die.
sometimes we have stories to share. We have, all of that. I don't think people can even fathom the thought of, I'm going back to that portable morgue you talked about, right? Some of you out there, you don't even have a clue, and that's good. I'm gonna say that's good because it's best enough. For me, I had the opportunity numerous times to work in that environment, and it's not nice. But I thank God I had friends who talked me down because it will grow on you. The very last one I had was in 1998 when I went to Guam when that crash of that 747, and they brought in refrigerated containers, four of them, four of them. So that's why I get these flashbacks to think: is it possible that when people start falling to this virus faster than what's happening now, would it be for me a replay of what I saw back then? I hope not. I hope not. That's why I'm very passionate about trying to stay safe because somebody's going to have to do their job. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's not going to do it by itself. Somebody is going to have to be the person to go in and out of those reefers every single day. And all I'm saying is, let's not get to that point. Let's not get to
Yeah.
that point. Somebody give us an answer so we know what way to proceed. That's all I'm saying.
The harsh reality, people. I mean, I know some people might say, why do you have to bring that up? That's kind of gory. Well, that's the truth. And well, we think we're fear mongering. No, I got to tell you, yeah, it's the state is more concerned with taxes right now that they relieve from labor and tourism. Bingo. That and that's going to be a very expensive decision in life and in people's health, and that's what bothers me the most. And it seems like everyone has just like put out the red carpet for the governor to do what he wants. Everyone. Oh, and again, I go back to the legislature. They have the ability to bring them forward and explain themselves, hold them accountable. I did want to say that this my friend called me today or messaged me today. His son, Kapa, I believe Kapa Elementary, or it might have been Kapa Middle.
Kappa
Um,
Elementary.
Today, yeah. So that he gets a letter, an email saying that his son was in a classroom of a positive person, of a child that tested positive.
Several employees
But
got that pay.
but your son wasn't in is not considered a close contact, so he can return to school tomorrow. A classroom, Charlie. Um, uh, Everybody in that room is a close contact, or it should be
I'm,
treated
I'm,
as such. Should
I'm
be
going to
treated
tell
as
you right
such.
now. That call came in at 8 o'clock this morning. Because why? Several of my employees got that same call. And we had to find replacements because they had to go and get their child. That's what happened. And they were livid. And they said, Uncle Charlie, you was right. You said that this would happen if they don't take extra precautionary measures. Okay? Because tell yourself, from the first time COVID struck to now, what has the DOE done that's different? Knowing that this virus is 1,000 times worse. What have they done differently this time? Nothing.
Yeah.
A lot of lip service. That's why I said, if you still got the same parameters, yeah, you got away with it first time because it wasn't that bad. This one is bad, and it's hitting our young ones. It's hitting our because the elementary students they're all unprotected. They can't get vaccinated. What did they expect? But the sad thing is now there's this trickling effect, right? You got parents involved, you got grandparents involved. If you live in multi-generational household, hey, you got a lot of things to worry about.
Yeah. That's, I mean, why wouldn't you err on the side of safety? Why wouldn't you do things that are right, that will save lives or protect kids? And I just don't get it. And then when you hear the Department of Health, when you hear the governor, lieutenant governor, Department of Education, all of the decision makers coming out and saying that they believe that the schools are safe. Look at the numbers of cases that's already coming out of the schools.
Let's
It's
look at the
not safe.
prisons.
It's not safe. Exactly.
The prisons are starting up again. Our good friend Paul, and we got word a couple nights ago from our good friends over at Old Triple C. It's starting up again. You think somebody would have learned the first go around, right? Because I always learn. Like I told you before, I wrote so many times on that chalkboard. You learn after a while, right? You think somebody would have learned already, but it's starting all over again.
Well,
All over again.
rewind about a year and a half, Charlie. Rewind about a year and a half where COVID was brand new. It was the novel coronavirus. First time no one knew what was about. And we started talking about the trends that were coming across the world into our country, and we started to share what we had learned and brought on people. By the way, Dr. Jerome Kim, I contacted Dr. Jerome Kim. He will, unfortunately, his auntie passed away, but he's going to be in Hawaii next week. Whenever he makes it here, he's going to come on our show. That's going to be a power hitter. But anyway, people like Dr. Jerome Kim, we started to talk to these people, bring them on the show, and we started to try to raise the awareness. But understand this was brand new, and understand that our state may have felt that our local information and knowledge that they got from wherever was going to be sufficient. So they did what they did. Okay, so it's almost like they got a first pass, right? Because it was new and everybody was learning about COVID, the novel coronavirus. Okay, now you fast forward to today, Charlie. There is no shortage of information on what to do with this Delta. There is absolutely zero shortage of information and resources for our state to utilize to do the right thing. I don't know if you saw the news tonight with Dr. Dara O'Carroll. He was on the news tonight. He was just on our show, and he showed up on the news tonight, and they asked him that we need, and he said we need to do some pretty severe measures now to stop the surge. So they don't have that pass like they did the first go around because it's no longer a novel coronavirus. Because we know one thing, Charlie, and this is going to be my last thought for the night. We know one thing for sure. Whatever happens in other countries with this virus eventually lands in the continental United States. And we know that what it does in other countries is the exact same thing that it does in our country. And we know for a fact that whatever happens in the continental United States, probably 3 to 6 weeks later, it jumps on our shores here in Hawaii. We know that for a fact. So why don't we learn from what is happening elsewhere? We should, by the time that damn virus hits our shores, number one, we should be able to detect it at the airport or shortly after with the second test. Number two, if they manage to get through, we should have, because of what we learned from the other jurisdictions, we should have already learned what to do to isolate and restrict the spread. We should, because there is no more excuse, guys. There is no more, this is a novel coronavirus. No, it's no longer novel. We have the information, and people, our leaders have just decided to take the path of least resistance. They don't want to upset the visitor industry, so we're going to ride this out. And instead of coming out and doing what needs to be doing what needs to be done, we're just going to put up 3 containers, 3 mobile morgues, in case we cannot fit them in the hospitals. So I just, I mean, I don't want to end it like that, but that's kind of where it's at. And if we don't stand up and keep making noise and making sure that everybody we know understand that the book has been written, we just got to read the book, then nothing will change, people. Nothing will change. So anyway, Charles, thank you for letting me vent again.
No, it's just it's like I said, it's just futile. It's all I can say is this state, and I gotta be just straightforward. And if I offend some of you out there, I'm sorry. But this state and those that again are elected at the top to think of our best interests, to me, I think it's failing us. And see, the bad thing about it is when silence goes for a long period of time, that's when we start thinking of a lot of weird things. So then we become unbelievers ourselves because everything that comes out of somebody's mouth is not believable. Okay, that's why I used the last time the word desensitized. We get desensitized into dangers. Okay, and that's why I said those who have been to war, they know what it's like. That's why they get PTSD because they've lived it. What we are all living right now is a war against this virus, but we are not equipped because our government is not giving us anything to fight it. So some of you might say, okay, Uncle Charlie, what can they give us? They can give us good information. They can give us ideas of what way they want to proceed. The same way like they tell you, stand in line to get the vaccine. You give directions, we follow directions, we in and out in a flash. No complaints, right? Everything is done systematically. Have they done that with this virus? Okay, zero. So now we've seen how it's just like a tidal wave. So what makes this thing so different? One may ask. What makes this Delta variant so different? Okay, let's take a look at the spectrum of vacation locations. Let's take Florida for instance. Okay, they got probably the highest cases of infections. Their hospitals are already at 100%. Yet their governor is trying to make it ban. face mask usage. They're trying to ban all that stuff that would kind of protect us or protect them. And he's trying to say no. Basically, you can't use it. Well, that's when all I can say is, what's the thought process behind it? So that's one extreme. The other extreme we have here in Hawaii is we have nothing. We have nothing. You see these high level officials showing up on the news at hospitals, walking around, hey, atta boy, rah, rah, rah. Hey, why don't get in the trenches? See how it feels. You know? I mean, if you've got it reminds me of tidal waves, right? You get an earthquake way up north, right? They get all these dark buoys in the ocean. If you were so confident that one tsunami not gonna hit us, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have put those buoys out there. But you put them out there for some reason. Why? For warn us. Okay, all of this stuff is happening with this virus right now. It's warning us. What happened to the buoys? What happened to the knowledge? What happened to those so-called experts that's with the state? What happened to them? Why are they not trying to at least prepare us? Okay, what are we supposed to do when it hits hard and we got a lot of people sick? Don't worry, the hospital's not going to be overrun. Is that what you're trying to tell us? We're already seeing now. We brought on people like Dan Ross, already telling us that the hospitals is reaching at its peak already. Where is everybody going to go? What are we supposed to do? Just sit in a car, pray, recline the chair, and go to sleep. Is that the way we fight this virus? I don't think so. So all I'm trying to say is it's disappointing. Yeah, we laughed in the beginning, and I'm glad I laughed because I'll be laying down the f bombs right now, but I'm not because that's not me. Okay? That's not me. But I am saying this: I care about everybody I come in contact with, whether I know you or not, because it's not fair for you to catch this virus because somebody was irresponsible. That's one. Two, we got a lot of people now. We got a lot of cases of breakthrough, which means you're fully vaccinated. You're carrying the virus. That doesn't mean the virus is attacking you. You're protected, but it's waiting to be handed off to somebody unsuspectingly. Do you think it's fair to that person? I would feel so damn guilty if I was carrying a virus right now and I give it to my lovely wife. I would feel. I mean, I don't think I could even live with myself if that happened. And that's why I make sure when I come home every day from work, I make sure I disinfect outside the house. I don't bring it indoors.
Was that a truck that just drove past your house?
No, that's the National Guard. They're setting up on command center up the road. They're surrounding my house because
Yeah, I think
they think
Ige.
yeah, I think you know I'm going off the deep end already.
Yeah, he just said activate the National Guard, bro. I just heard that thing loud and clear in my ears, boy. Like whoa. Well, Charlie, you bring up Florida. That governor is a knucklehead. That is like one of the biggest knuckleheads in this country right now. The mandating that no one can pass mask mandates. That no county or oh my god. But then again, you know, if Ige came out and said no county can pass a mask mandate law, I would give him the double finger, boy. Because so what you gonna do? You gonna have me arrested? Really? You think some jury is gonna? The guy is just an idiot. He's just like a major idiot, and people gonna argue masks no work, masks work. Somebody sent me a video today from this surgeon who's wearing a mask around his neck. He doesn't have it on because he's doing his video, and he's telling everybody that the CDC used faulty information to come up with the studies that show that masks help. This is a surgeon who uses a mask every day, and he admits it. He said, "This is a mask. I wear this when I do my surgeries." But he's telling us that the mask doesn't stop Delta. Well, you know what? It does. We know that it is it 100%? Absolutely not. Is anything 100%? Absolutely not. Bottom line is that you got these people spreading this crappy information, and when it's coming from doctors like that, surgeons, that's what causes the misinformation or disinformation that's going on. So, guys, we got to just stay akamai. We got to be smart. We got to pay attention to what the experts are saying and act accordingly. So, I don't know where we go from here, Charlie. I really don't. I'm obviously concerned, and I worry for everybody. I worry, and I know people tell me, "Oh, you cannot really, you cannot save the world." Well, I cannot save the world, but we can keep people informed and educated, and then like you always say, Charlie, let them make the choice of whether to use it or not. And that's what we plan to do, and we continue to do, and hopefully one day, soon, soon, uh, our governor and our lieutenant governor sees it, and we'll leave the Eagles at the parking lot when they go into their office, contact the visit industry people and say, hey guys, we've tried our best. It's too late. We got to start putting in the restrictions. We know it's going to cost you guys money, but we don't have a choice. That should have been done 3 weeks ago. That should have been done a month ago. And now
Remember
we,
what they told us? Remember what they told us? Wow, it's gonna be a while before we can rebound this economy, right? Didn't they tell us that?
yep,
They scared the Jesus out of everybody that we will never recover. It'll be a while. They looked at maybe a couple years, right? What happened in the first few months? What happened? Overrun Hawaii.
that's another one we can, Charlie. If we had on scoreboard, if we had on scoreboard of the Mel and Charlie show and administration or leaders, they would have to call the game already. Would be the mercy rule would have been
Yep.
the mercy rule because we're not even tourism experts. We're not even economists. But we knew from what we saw and what we read from across the Pacific Ocean that people said, as soon as they lift those restrictions, we fly. It was obvious that it would happen. But no, the leader, honestly, I think they really think we're stupid. I think that they really believe that we're stupid, but we're not. So, anyway, Charlie, we
We
went way over time.
we not stupid because why? The next town hall meeting, we're gonna invite them, and guess what? They're gonna have around each door one bullshit meter.
Yeah, yeah,
The moment they come walking in, you know how they walk in waving, huh? They walk
yeah,
right in the door. Man, bullshit, bullshit, bullshit.
yeah. What the heck? Okay, see, every time I just got the bullshit meter ring in my ear right now. I don't know what the hell was that.
No, one of my friends sending me one text sound.
Oh,
See?
there it is again. Oof. These little AirPods? It's like amplified 4 billion times. So
Okay. How you
anyway,
adjust it? How you adjust it? Right now, I'm pretty sure your volume was on 10. Try bring them down to about 3. So we
no,
get the
I can hear you good. You is perfect, but that bell is like whoa. But I needed that. I needed that, Charlie. I really did. Because now I'm ready for rock and roll. Anyway,
well, like
Charles.
I brother, let's put up our meter so when they walk in, okay, I just want a good laugh when they just wave. Aloha. And I think all that. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit.
I think the first response of the machine is the bullshit, bullshit, bull. The second one is like 35,000 volts, low amperage, so it's not lethal, but it's shocked the crap out of them. Literally, they gotta go change their pants. That's the kind.
Well,
That's the kind. Yeah.
somebody said put on shot. If they're all brave enough to come in on town hall and says, okay, before we start, why don't we make this even, right? Because all the people want to hear is the truth, right? And then
Hmm.
what you do, you put all of the candidates with shock collars, and then you give all the people in the crowd the trigger, So
Yeah.
if you're not convincing enough,
Map. Map. Yep. Hey, by the way, I wore this shirt tonight. Just
of
for
course,
our leadership. Yeah. Just to remind everybody, hey guys, we watching. Thousands of people are watching. So the solution is don't be an okole puka.
yeah.
Do not be an okole puka. Do the right thing, people. Do the right thing. That's all we ask. And keep us in a loop so we know what you guys are doing. It's going to save a lot of people a lot of grief and heartache and anxiety and PTSD and all of that stuff. Seriously, some people really, 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 really
Hey,
are being affected by this.
so for those of you that just joined us, we want to say thank you. Welcome to the second hour of the Mel and Charlie show.
It'll be the Charlie show because bro, my mother-in-law made me chicken katsu with one vegetable dumpling and broccoli.
Okay, okay.
So
My wife made me filet mignon with lobster tail. How you like that?
you win. You win, Charles. You win.
Right
I
on,
had
right
that.
on.
I had that this morning though, as I was driving on. My mother-in-law, hey, hey, hey. She lives next door. She made me a night filet mignon sandwich. Filet mignon sandwich, a triple decker. Had toast, scrambled egg, toast, spam. I mean the filet mignon, and then the top bread.
Well,
Delicious.
I had the same thing, but mine had truffles on top.
What is a truffle? What is it? What is that?
Well,
What's a truffle?
it sounds French, but truffle. I think
Yeah, what is
truffle.
that?
That's like the kind of the word they use when you're in trouble. Like trouble is truffle. Yeah, truffle.
Yeah. So how you put that? I thought maybe it was like on rotten mushroom. Isn't that a truffle?
No, 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 no. A
Hmm.
rotten
I,
mushroom is a rotten mushroom. The one
ah,
that
okay.
the one they get on the shelf that's outside the refrigerator. It says, "Oh, clearance." That one. That's the truffle.
Mm, yeah. Well, what's your closing thoughts, Charles? What's your closing thoughts, man?
My closing thoughts is this: I love you all. I just want you to be safe. You know, sorry for the dry humor, but sometimes I get just to that point. Like I said, I just get to the point I want to snap because my parents, my dad, he only had limited education, but he taught us one thing, and that he said, whatever you're gonna do, you give it 100%. You give it 100%. I personally think why I'm upset right now, I don't think this government right now is giving their 100%. They're sitting back and they're waiting. I don't know what they're waiting for. I mean, do you need more convincing? Is that it? Then you know what? Maybe you should just tell us. The reason why we're doing this is we're waiting, and tell us why you're waiting. I think you owe us that much, Governor. I think you owe us that much just to tell us why you're waiting. And if you know what, if it's explained well enough, we are sensible people. We'll buy into it if it's explained well enough. Okay, there should be no reason why you know that we should go against you. But when you leave it open ended like this and you don't do nothing at all, then you ask yourself, why are the people against you? All we're asking for, we're not asking for $1 million. We're just asking you, just be up and up with the people of Hawaii. We've come a long way. Okay, we've come a long way. I think you owe the people of Hawaii that much. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
Well said, Charlie. My dad and my mom, when growing up, my mom, bless her soul, but my dad, I think my dad is even watching tonight, but he can attest. They taught us to always be concerned about others and share, and make sure that you help people. That's just how it was. My dad would, my God, till today, give his shirt off his back to help anybody, and my mom was the same way. My mom was the same way, and so I put myself in the governor's shoes right now, and I think if that was my the way I was raised, if that was what I was made of, I would be thinking, what do I have to do today to make sure that our people are safe? What can I do today to make sure that we don't have more people getting sick and die? And what he's doing, Charlie, two things: what your parents taught you about giving it 100%, and being able to help people and take care of people. He's absolutely doing none of it. None of it. He's just not doing any of it. And I think the people are getting frustrated. So yeah, I don't know what to say. I pray for them. Last night, I gotta tell you, I even after my show last my little segment, I could not sleep. And as I laid down with my phone, with the watching the rest of that Kahuku game, trying to, I said a prayer, and I said a very special prayer for our leadership, and it just asked God to give them guidance, wisdom, and courage. That's all. Um, and I hope they get it. I really do, because a lot of lives are at stake, and this thing is so preventable if we do the right thing. So with that, folks, again, thank you all for don't shit. Always get one, guys. Always get one. Check them out. Eric, don't fart. You might spread the virus. I love this system because we can show you comments. But anyway, guys, you guys stay safe. For those of you that are off tomorrow, you guys enjoy your 3-day weekend. For those of you that got to work, stay safe. God bless. We love you guys. We're back tomorrow night. I'll see if my daughter can come on for a little bit, share her story. If not, I know you have a couple of candidates for tomorrow night show. Not candidates, political candidates, but educators for our show to share you guys. So with that, folks, take care. God bless. We love you all. Stay
Aloha.
safe.